Good afternoon, what's going on, everybody? It's your Friday host, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, the Big Vanilla Poppy, for your next episode of The Breaks here on Infinity TV. We got Championship Sunday to talk about some NBA coaching hiring and firing and some coaches walking away and heading to the NFL from college. All that and more coming up on your latest Friday episode of The Breaks.
These are the breaks. These are the breaks. You know what it is.
Good, everybody, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, your Friday host here on The Breaks on Infinity TV. All right, so let's get right into it. NFL Sunday coming up is the Conference Championship Sunday. It is in my opinion, the second biggest weekend in the sport of football. It's the game that decides who gets to go play for the one trophy that you are just certified with for the rest of your career. You only need one at the quarterback position. Of course, we like guys that have 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one guy that's got 7 of them. We'll get into that a little later too. But it's the one championship that just solidifies you. You only need one for your career, and that's for the Super Bowl, and that's what Conference Championship Sunday is all about. So we got the AFC and NFC matchups. We have the Chiefs that are going to be at the Ravens, and then we have the Lions. What a story there. Listen, if you're not rooting for the Lions and you're not a Niner fan, you don't have a pulse. Like, you're corny. You're lame. Like, get out of here. Like, if your team's not in, if you have an NFC favorite team and it's not the Niners, there's no reason in hell why you should not be pulling for the Lions this weekend. If you're not a Niners fan, it's just such a great story, but it's just not a great story. It's also a pretty good football team and a good coaching staff. And then also we want to really dig into real fast the matchup between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Now, listen, with this matchup, I can give you guys a bunch of numbers. I can give you guys a bunch of stats. And by the time you get to this day on the Breaks on Fridays, I told you guys last week, you've heard the numbers, you've heard the predictions, the picks, and all that stuff. I just want to talk football. Can we do that? Can you and y'all sit back? I sit back, relax, talk football. Let's talk some football. This game, in my opinion, is for the leader in the clubhouse as the new or continuing face of the NFL. Lamar Jackson has a chance here to knock off who people, foolishly in my opinion, are already calling unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer in Patrick Mahomes. Do I think he's going to the Hall of Fame one day? Yes. But let's pump the brakes on, if he retired right now, it's got to be unanimous. So he's just going to skip over a bunch of other deserving players that have been waiting and missing their chances time and time again, year and year again, to get to the Hall of Fame. We just going to jump in. Well, he's a Hall of Famer, so why can't he wait his time? Why can't we pay homage and pay respect to the ones that have not gotten it that we know should be in already? Different topic for a different show, I know. But Lamar Jackson has a chance here to win this football game and get to a Super Bowl, and that'll set up another opportunity that guys like Cam Newton, Donovan McNabb, Jalen Hurts couldn't cash in. That's Super Bowl black winning quarterbacks. Russell Wilson and Doug Williams was the first one, of course, with the Washington Redskins back in the day when they were airing it out to Gary Sanders and Art Monk and Gary Clark and running with Ernest Binders and Ricky Irvins, all that team. I hated the Skins, or the Commanders today, but the Skins, I hated them, but living in the DMV, those were some fun football teams to watch. So he has a chance here to actually solidify himself and get that narrative of you can't win with a certain type of quarterback or the running quarterback or whatever type of quarterback term you want to use. You can't win that way. You can't win a Super Bowl. You can get to one, but you can't win one. He has the opportunity to do that, and if he does that, winning his second MVP this year, I think he does supplant Pat Mahomes as the new face of the NFL. Pat Mahomes is still dope. Pat Mahomes is still great. Pat Mahomes is still going to do a bunch of State Farm commercials. They're going to show his wife and his brother and all that corny stuff up in the box that they love to do for attention. You're still going to get all of that. So if you think you're going to miss any of that, relax, sit back, chill, take a sip of tequila. You'll be all right. Then you're going to get all that. But the face, they'll say, hey, look, I went head up with that dude and I took him out. And then I went on and won it. That's the opportunity that presents itself with Lamar Jackson. The opportunity that presents itself with Patrick Mahomes is to get to his 5th and have a chance to win his 3rd, which then the conversation, he ain't in the GOAT conversation yet. We can stop that. But I think you're definitely now, he's flirting with top 5. I judge hard. I know some people going to see this like, oh my God, this guy, he didn't know what he's talking about. Well, how did he get a shout out? You guys know how y'all talk on social media when you don't like an opinion of somebody in the sports business. But let's pump the brakes and let's make sure we remember greatness down the line. Just because somebody played at a different time. And listen, in football, it's different than basketball. The whole Bill Russell to today's guys, I totally get things. But the entire landscape of winning, to me, it doesn't really matter when you win. It's just the simple fact that you were a winner. So Pat Mahomes with a 3rd will then start, in my opinion, to launch himself easily into the top 5. Because, Marino, Montana, Elway, Peyton, Favre, Staubach, Bart Starr, like the Johnny Unitas, Joe Montana, Tom Brady. Come on. I just rattled off 8 guys. You're not telling me at this point right now Mahomes is better than 6 or 7 of the 8 I rattled off. We're not gonna do that, okay? If you want to say, oh, Bart Starr, okay. Well, Bart Starr's still a top 10 guy. You got to pay that homage and pay that respect, man. So that's what I think is on the line in the AFC Championship game. I can give you all the Andy Reid stuff. I can give you all the hardball stuff. Great on special teams. Dude, special teams could be a factor in this game. Remember, that's how Harbaugh got his start in coaching. He was a special teams guy. They're excellent on special teams. They cover well and they return well, and they have the best kicker in the universe. So special teams can be a major deciding factor in the AFC Championship game coming up on Sunday. Something else, too, that I like about this game is we're really going to see whose weapons really want to show up, because neither the Chiefs or the Ravens will blow you away at the skill position. Mark Andrews, but he's coming back from an injury. He's activated. He's going to play. It's the conference championship game to go to the Super Bowl. He has to play. He probably could have played last week, but if they thought, no, we could get Houston, give you another 7 days to heal, another 7 days of treatment, another 7 days of whatever they're doing to him to get him ready, and then you'll be ready for the conference championship game. That game that's one to go to the Super Bowl is much more important, in my opinion, than the divisional game. But when you look at this game, there are a lot of skill position guys that are going to blow you away. I want to know, who is it going to be? Zay Flowers, Odell. Will we get an Odell sighting? I'm talking 5 catches, 79, 80 yards, somewhere in that range, a touchdown, like an old Odell type game. Do we get that over? Or Rice on this other side, Valdez Scantling. Does he played well at Buffalo last week? He made some big catch. Where's that guy been? Let's go there. Where's that guy been that was in Orchard Park last Sunday? That's what they're going to need. That's another part of this game I'm going to really study over the next. I've been rewatching both Chiefs and Ravens and Lions and Niners games all through the week. But I want to go back and just watch those skill positions. Who's going to be Rashad Bateman? Where you been, buddy? You were first round. Come on, man. If Lamar needs you at any time, he needs you Sunday. If Pat needs you at any time, he needs you on Sunday. So I'm not picking one. I just want to watch a great game. I am riding for Lamar to win the Super Bowl and get his MVP. That would be his second. So I'm riding with Lamar, but if the Chiefs won, it wouldn't piss me off. Real fast, Niners and Lions. Just give me the Lions. I'm just riding with the story. That no numbers, no stats, especially if who wants some of Debo don't play. Give me the Lions on the money line at a plus 250. It went up from plus 237. It's at a plus 250 on the money line for the Lions. I'm just going with the story. Plus, my younger brother Terrence is a lifelong Lions fan. He's been hurting a long time. I wouldn't mind seeing him happy on Super Bowl Sunday. So that's the NFL news. Coming up in the next segment, man, y'all sit tight. I'm going to take y'all back to school. I see y'all at Breaks University. We're going to talk about who is the next guy. All that and more coming up. Your Friday edition of The Breaks. I'm VJ and Fantasy.
Hey everyone, I'm Neko Gumike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Infinity Television.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss, raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
Shout out Infinity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chanel Gwimike, and you're watching Infinity Television. Boom.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to The Breaks. I'm your Friday host, VJ&x, the Big Vanilla Funny. Let's get right into Breaks University. This past week, the big story is my man, my homie, my ace Boom Coon, Natty Champion, national champion, winning head coach, 3-time Big Ten winning head coach, 3-time college football appearance head coach, is heading back to the NFL. My man Jimmy Burgers, Jim Harbaugh, has accepted the deal with the Los Angeles Chargers out here in LA. So they're moving their training facility to Woodland Hills. It was maybe about 5 to 7 minutes where I'm from, where I live. So I'll definitely be dipping over there, man, to check out some Jimmy Burgers while he's doing this thing with the Chargers. Which I don't think it's the job that everybody propped it up to be, but I think he's the right guy for the job. But he leaves Michigan, which leaves a big hole in college football coaching because we know Nick Saban, he be snitching. He left and retired. Michigan sent him to his rocket chair down by the lake on the Gulf down there. And it left me thinking, wow, Jim Harbaugh, okay, just won a natty with the 3 straight college football playoffs. Went 15-0, won it all this year. He left for the NFL. Nick Saban, he's been doing what he's been doing at Alabama. Was at LSU, was at Michigan State. Did his little stint and tried to ruin my Dolphins on purpose in the NFL. Went back to college, won a bunch of national championships. He just retired. And it started me thinking, I'm looking around, who's next? Kirby Smart's in a class of his own. Kirby Smart with Georgia should have been in the college football playoff this year. But we know this felt like a little favorite of Nick Saban, like 97, the coaches voting for Tom Osborne, head coach of Nebraska, over Michigan, who would beat Washington State and Ryan Leaf in the Rose Bowl for the national championship the year Charles Woodson beat Peyton Manning for the Heisman Trophy. And they said, oh, well, the coaches vote for Nebraska. Tom Osborne, a great legendary coach, announced he's retired. I think somebody kind of knew this could be Nick Saban's last year. Let's go ahead and sneak him in. And Kirby Smart didn't like that, and they're showing it in the portal. I'm telling you, if there's a pissed off university right now, there's 2. There's Texas and there's Georgia. Watch out next year if you got to play those 2 teams on your schedule. I got them playing for the national championship in my way too early college national championship 2024-25 prediction. But Jim Harbaugh leads with a record 89-25. 3 Big Ten championships. I mentioned the 3 college football playoff appearances, national championship. And it left me thinking, who's next? And you have Kirby Smart, put him to the side. That man is in a class of his own, 127, 28 in a row, back-to-back national championship, 2 of the last 3. He's on his own. So it got me thinking, where are we looking for the next guy that's going to state himself? I thought about Dabo Swinney because Dabo Swinney has a couple of national championships. But at the end of the day, when you think about Dabo Swinney, you won a national championships with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Ever since you recruited DJ Uiagalelei, that's from Bosco out here, I called their games in high school and I looked at his footwork back then and said, kids got to work on his footwork. Can't just be tall, big, and strong and throw it hard all the time. In high school, it works. In college, it's not going to work. Showed he's already at his 3rd school. He just committed to Florida State in the portal, left Oregon State after 1 year. So once he recruited him, that kind of went away. They're losing the games to Duke in football. Clemson losing to Duke in football? Ouch. Then I started thinking about some other coaches. Maybe Ryan Day. Ryan Day? Yeah, right. But I had to put him up there because other than him getting his ass handed to him by Michigan 3 years in a row and then being embarrassed by Missouri this year in the Cotton Bowl, It's like, bro, you gotta go do it this year, and they're trying. They're hitting the portal hard. They're spending all the money they can. Bill O'Brien is not going to be the offensive coordinator up there. Ryan Day, if he goes and wins it next year, hey, I got no beef with it. We got ours too. Michigan got theirs. You're allowed to have another one. Go ahead. It's cool. Don't take away from ours. This is just your year. It's okay. But is he that next guy? How about Steve Sarkisian in Texas? I like Texas, what they have. Interesting sidebar about Texas. Arch thought he would be the starter by next year, and he still could be, but Quinn's still there. Quinn's not leaving. Quinn's still there. They went and recruited Isaiah Bond, who was from Bama, hit the portal, picked up by Texas, which I thought was a great signing because they're going to need some more outside weapons to be able to compete with the secondaries in SEC and really go for a national championship. They were in the playoff this year, but they had 37 hung on them. They got to fix defense. Gave up the 30 points over 30 to Oklahoma, Kansas State, and one other team. I can't remember. I thought I had it written down here. Washington. Sorry, Washington, Oklahoma, Kansas State. They gave up over 30 points to those teams. You can't do that to win a national championship. But it's Stark, that next guy. He gets to the college football playoff next year, wins the national championship. We know his history. We know his history at SC. I'm out here in L.A. I was here when they let him go. I was here when he was here through the whole fiasco with him. So it just kind of got me to thinking with Jimmy Burgers leaving, with Snitch Saban retiring, Kirby's in a group of his own. Who's the next guy in college football? Who's the next coach that's going to challenge? Because I'm telling you, you're crazy if you think anybody stopping Georgia from getting there. Who they play will be a different story, but they're getting there. They're getting to the final night in college football. They're playing for the national championship. Kirby Smart will be coaching for his third in 4 years, and then it'll start to feel Saban-ish if Kirby Smart gets that done. To me, I think it's Texas. There's some other schools there's always a school that always can jump up and surprise you. We knew Florida State would be good this year. I thought LSU would be better, so maybe LSU, but then you lose your quarterback. But they are doing pretty well in the portal, and they believe in the two guys that are going to compete there in the spring. They believe in those two kids. So they feel like they may not have Jaden Daniels' numbers, but they'll have better and more production out of who they go with as a starter. So Brian Kelly, could he be the next guy? Like, he's the all-time winningest coach in Notre Dame. I know he never won it there. They don't play in a conference, so he doesn't have any conference championships to lean on because he wanted to stay an independent. That's what hurts you when you coach at Notre Dame. That's what hurts you, man. Being that you don't get a chance to even, like, play for a conference and at least have that on your resume or means to keeping your job or getting better and bigger jobs. I know people would say bigger job than Notre Dame. Yes, in today's world, bigger job than Notre Dame. This is not the 80s. This is not Rudy, which is one of the most dumb-ass football movies they've ever made before. I watched that movie twice and thought, you've got to be kidding me. You guys y'all made this and believed this? No. And no, it's not a Notre Dame thing. It's just a stupid football movie, and I was mad that they made it about Notre Dame. Necessary Roughness is better. And that's about an imaginary school itself. What is it? The Armadillos, the Texas State Armadillos with Sinbad and Scott Bakula. Which I know about Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap. Not the new Quantum Leaps. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to show my age while I do the show. But who's the next guy, man? That's just one of my things I thought about when it came to Breaks University this week as far as having a college topic for you guys this week, man. We'll get into some college hoops more next week, but I'm waiting for the conferences are heating up. Things are getting going. Y'all better watch my Tar Heels. Them Heels going to cut the nets down, man. Y'all sit back and relax, man. We'll be right back when we come back. We're going to jump on the hardwood crossovers. I just watched the documentary last night. I'm ready to talk some hoops, man. All that and more coming up Friday edition of The Breaks.
Hey everyone, I'm Neko Gumike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Infinity Television.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
Shout out Infinity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chanel Gwimike, and you're watching Infinity Television. Boom.
What's good, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, VJ&x Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, Big Vanilla Poppy here on your Friday edition of The Breaks on Infinity TV. So let's get into NBA Fast Break. Last night, if you have not watched the 30 for 30 greatest mixtape of all time about the And1 Street Ballers, Hot Sauce, AO, Escalade, all those guys, Rafe Lawson, Skip to My Lou. If you guys have not watched that, Jadakiss narrates it. It's so ill. I'm such a sports nerd and geek. I watch all of that stuff. And I missed that one. And I normally just follow him and watch him all. I'm like, how did I miss this one? Ended up watching it last night, man. And it got me in the basketball mood. Because in this time of year, hockey is really starting to heat. I'm a big NHL dude. My New York Rangers are playing great. We got the Vegas Knights at home tonight.
Okay.
The Kings out here have done their thing too, man. They went through a little slide, but the Kings are starting to kind of get their skates back up underneath them. College basketball. You're deep in the conference now. No more invitational this, Bahama this, coaches versus cancer this. It's either home or road, and that's until the end of March. Home or road. That's it. Excuse me. Beginning of March, middle of March, beginning of March when conference tournaments come up, and then you got the NBA. So it started getting me kind of thinking more about the NBA. The other day, the big news this week, the Milwaukee Bucks fire Adrian Griffin, which this blew me away, number one. Number two, I need somebody, I'm going to take my glasses off for y'all on this one. I need somebody to explain to me this. I need to know what secrets Doc Rivers knows. What does he know? And who does he know it about? How does Doc Rivers continue to get job after job after job? And listen, when Doc's son Austin was at Duke, my nephew Kendall was at Carolina. I was in Cameron. I was there at games. I saw him, met his family, his daughter. Beautiful people. What I view as beautiful human beings. His wife, Mr. Rivers, Austin, his sister, everybody. Beautiful people. So this isn't a personal attack. This is simply 100% about sports, coaching, motivating, wins, X's and O's. How in the hell? He has blown more 3-1 leads in postseason than any other coach. More 2-0 leads, 2-1 leads. He's 3-2 leads. How? Rondo got killed for coming out about 6 or 7 years ago on a podcast on someone's show. Probably at this, hit some trees, whatever, and just get real relaxed. Like, oh, man, he ain't coach us. We pretty much coached ourselves. Okay. And people ate him up. But if you really go back and look at that team, Garnett was thirsty, hungry. We watched the most intense guy in his era. There's not him or Rashid. There's not a more intense guy in the era of that era of basketball than him. Rashid, Kobe was killer. But intensity, yelling, screaming, the body language, cussing, those two guys. He gave it all in Minnesota. And he ran, one year they got to the Western Conference Finals, but you ran into Kobe and Shaq. When you ran into Kobe and Shaq, unless you were dunking, vamos, adios, bye-bye. So when you go back and look at the way that Boston team was put together, Paul Pierce was just right at the top, but you could tell that other side was coming. Jesus Shuttlesworth, a.k.a. Ray Allen, he got me game reference for y'all that don't know and if you don't know who Jesus Shuttlesworth is, I can never talk basketball with you. If you right now just said, who's Jesus Shuttlesworth? We can't talk basketball. We can talk other things, pickleball, curling, track and field, javelin. We can talk that stuff. We can talk no basketball. Bye-bye. But he was thirsty. He had given all to the Milwaukee and the Seattle franchise. He was thirsty. They know they had 1 year. Garnett summons up everything he had. He won Defensive Player of the Year, and he was on the downhill. You don't win Defensive Player of the Year on the downhill, but he summoned up all he had left to go get that one ring. Doc would just happen to be there. Doc has had great teams. He's out here in L.A. with Lob City. You in primes. You had DeAndre. You had fake Blake Griffin. You had Chris Paul. You had so many different weapons at that time with that team and could do nothing. Ty Lue walks in the door and they get to the conference championship. Ty Lue walks right in. They go to the Western Conference Finals. You get it. You're there, solidified, got them going, and you can't get them out the second round. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
Defeated.
How Doc Rivers continues to get opportunity after opportunity. And now, I'm going to tell you, you know who this doomed? Giannis's legacy. This move doomed Giannis's legacy because you're not going to win with him. And the one ring that you might end up with over the next 5 or 6 years, with the years already added that you played, you got to the finals against, you got through the Atlanta Hawks because the East was so banged up. That was the Eastern Conference Finals.
Bye-bye.
And then the finals matchup. I mean, man, like Giannis, this is not good. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, this is not personal, again. But how the hell does Doc Rivers just keep getting coaching job and good jobs? Not even the Pistons, not even Orlando. Atlanta Hawks won't even fire Quinn and hire him. They're all under 500. My Pistons got 5 wins. Stop it, man. Real quick, too, also, excuse me, NBA All-Star voting was released. So I'm not a big All-Star guy as I used to be growing up. I don't want to sound like the old guy at the barbershop, but we totally know it's a popularity contest. Even when you go and look at the standings, you got guys not even starting on teams that are in first place. I don't get that. You got a guy like Scotty Barnes who now has to make it as a reserve, and he'll make it. Steph Curry that now has to make it as a reserve, and he'll make it. But there's not, what world do we live in where Scotty Barnes and Steph Curry are not starters on the All-Star team? This whole fan stuff, it's a fallacy. It's a false. It's not really real. They just tell you guys that, oh, well, it's the fans' game, so we let the fans vote. Y'all don't really know if your votes really count, really go. Y'all don't know where your votes go. You just know you've been told that you can vote and your votes count. I'm not that guy. I don't believe everything that I'm told, and I also know that it's also about manipulation, marketing, promotion. Write that down. Manipulation, marketing, and promotion. That is a big part of pro sports. So they're going to put in there whoever manipulates themselves are the guys that really care about the numbers stacking up. 18-year, 19th year, 20-year. There's guys that really, really care about that because they think it's going to add for their legacy. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, no, bro, you can still get to the All-Star. Being a starter really doesn't matter. The coach is going to end up playing who he wants to play down the stretch anyway, or whoever's been playing well, our veterans, or the rookie you got to do the rookie thing. You got to sit the rookie down. You got to play the vets, or the vets that don't want to play like they don't want to. Listen, man, I got my little 3-minute run in early. I'm good. Like, I'm here. I'm resting this weekend. I'm trying to push for the playoffs. I'm playing for a different reason this year. I'm not playing for the All-Star. So I wish they would kind of clean that up. Off topic, too. Quick sidebar before we get out of here. Baseball Hall of Fame. Shame on you. Shame on you. This 10-year thing is dumb as hell. I know that's not basketball, but I got to put that out here on the breaks. This 10-year thing is dumb as hell. There's no way you're telling me Gary Sheffield is not a Hall of Fame. Take the writers out of it. Writers and fans, we love you. I love you. I'm a writer. I'm a fan. I'm a radio guy. I'm a TV guy. I don't have these votes, and I'm fine with that. But rather hear the players that play with them, play against them. That's our episode of The Breaks here on Friday, man. You guys check us back out every Friday here at 3 p.m. I'm VJ Vernon Husky. Stay blessed.